Hello, you rates. We are actually looking at a different unit, heading towards our rock project further down the track. So we did look at rock music the last 3 weeks and asked you to research a specific instrument. Now we're going to look at another way of looking at rhythms. So we'd like a heading and a subheading now. Pause the video if you need to. We are going to look at rhythm. So, how do you see rhythm for starters? What method do you usually use to visualize music, and why do you need this? Okay, why do you need to do this? Okay, so I would like you to just write your responses. Okay, think about if you have played an instrument, how did you used to read music? Okay, if you were in year 7 last year in at this school, you might have been taught how to read music in a certain way. What was that? Um, in primary school, you might have been taught a certain way to read music there. What was that? So I would like you to just spend a few minutes writing this down. Pause the video now, please. Okay, assuming you've done that, let's move on. There are other ways. So we actually know music as. Copy this down, by the way, and copy the previous one down. What we know as music reading and rhythm is the traditional way of learning and visualizing rhythm in music. In other words, the crotchets and quavers, which terminologies you are familiar with, is a good way to read music traditionally. Okay? But there is another way. So I'm just going to show you this video right now.
We usually think of rhythm as an element of music, but it's actually found everywhere in the world around us. From the ocean tides to our own heartbeats, rhythm is essentially an event repeating regularly over time. Even the ticking of a clock itself is a sort of rhythm. But for musical rhythm, a steady string of repeating single beats is not enough. For that, we need at least one opposing beat with a different sound, which can be the unstressed offbeat or the accented backbeat. There are several ways to make these beats distinct, whether by using high and low drums or long and short beats. Which ends up being heard as the main beat is not a precise rule, but like the famous Rubens vase, can be reversed depending on cultural perception. In standard notation, rhythm is indicated on a musical bar line. But there are other ways. Remember that ticking clock? Just as its round face can trace the linear passage of time, the flow of rhythm can be traced in a circle. The continuity of a wheel can be a more intuitive way to visualize rhythm than a linear score that requires moving back and forth along the page. We can mark the beats at different positions around a circle, using blue dots for main beats, orange ones for off beats, and white dots for secondary beats. Here is a basic 2-beat rhythm with a main beat and an opposing offbeat. Or a 3-beat rhythm with a main beat, an offbeat, and a secondary beat. And the spaces between each beat can be divided into further sub-beats using multiples of either 2 or 3. Layering multiple patterns using concentric wheels lets us create more complex rhythms. For example, we can combine a basic 2-beat rhythm with offbeats to get a 4-beat system. This is the recognizable backbone of many genres popular around the world, from rock, country, and jazz, to reggae and cumbia. Or we can combine a 2-beat rhythm with a 3-beat one. Eliminating the extra main beat and rotating the inner wheel leaves us with a rhythm whose underlying feel is 3/4. This is the basis of the music of whirling dervishes, as well as a broad range of Latin American rhythms, such as joropo, and even Bach's famous chaconne. Now, if we we remember Rubin's vase and hear the off beats as the main beats, this will give us a 6/8 feel, as found in genres such as chacarera and cueca, Persian music, and more. In an 8-beat system, we have 3 layered circles, each rhythm played by a different instrument. We can then add an outermost layer consisting of an additive rhythmic component, reinforcing the main beat and increasing accuracy. Now let's remove everything except for this combined rhythm and the basic 2-beat on top. This rhythmic configuration is found as the Cuban cinquillo, in the Puerto Rican bomba, and in northern Romanian music. And rotating the outer circle 90 degrees counterclockwise gives us a pattern often found in Middle Eastern music. As well as Brazilian choro and Argentinian tango. In all of these examples, the underlying rhythm reinforces the basic 1-2, but in different ways depending on arrangement and cultural context. So it turns out that the wheel method is more than just a nifty way of visualizing complex rhythms. By freeing us from the tyranny of the bar line, we can visualize rhythm in terms of time, and a simple turn of the wheel can take us on a musical journey around the world.
Okay, I hope you got something out of that. So, you've just been introduced to a wheel version of reading rhythms and how to do that. We're going to go on with that. Now, with all kinds of musical reading, there's pros and cons. There's benefits, and there are things that work so well, even in traditional reading of music, okay? So, I would like you to copy these questions out in your exercise book and answer these questions. Make sure you keep space between them. First of all, is describe what you saw in this clip in 50 words or less. Just describe what you saw in the clip. How are the ideas and information presented in this clip connected to what we already know? So think about the traditional music we've been taught already either in primary school or in year 7, or even if you play an instrument. Make sure that you are aware of these, okay? What new ideas did you get that extended or pushed your thinking in new directions, okay? So what did you not know before that you know now? What is still challenging or confusing for you to get your mind around? So think about, despite watching this video maybe once or twice, that you still are not sure about, okay? And hopefully we can discuss this later down the track. All right, let's keep going for now. More questions to dig deeper. Copy these out, make sure there's space, and answer them, please. All right, first questions being, how does method help you think about the similarities? How does this method help you think about the similarities and difference in music around the world? All right, so think about how music around the world was applied in this video. Do you think this rhythm wheel could replace standard notation? Think of the crotchets and quavers, which is the reading, which is what we're used to and what is traditional. Could this wheel method replace that? Why or why not? All right, make sure you write a comprehensive answer to that. What other modern tools and technologies can you think of that are replacing traditional music? Think about modern times. Think about DJs. What are they doing to perform music, and what are they using instead of reading music? Think about other people who use technology instead of reading traditional music. Okay, and are they replacing that? Okay. This is the same question, by the way. This is traditional music methods for composing and making music, okay? And then this is another one. What methods do you use when composing music that aren't formal or widely recognized, sorry. E.g., you might have made it up. Is there a particular way that you have written music to help written in a certain way to just help you understand? Again, think back to any projects you might have done where you had to perform the instrument and then through reading something, okay? So think about that. All right, that's it. Please submit or take a photo of the questions you have answered from the PowerPoint in this very video you just watched and submit that by the due date, okay? Again, if you have any questions, please don't forget to email or ask your teacher for help. But please be detailed with those answers and submit it as soon as you can before the due date. All right? Thanks, guys. Good luck.